Hey, welcome back everybody. Sorry for the delay. I've been behind in posting content of this P-51 transformation on the top flight ARF. Sometimes life gets in the way, as you know. Family is the first priority, and that along with spring chores kind of took up a bunch of time. Nonetheless, I'm back. I've got a lot of content that I've got to get published and put out there to get you all caught up. And so this video we're going to cover the cowling installation, and then that will segue into the covering and finishing of the rudder. That includes surface detail, primer, and paint. So I hope you enjoy. There's more to come. This one's pretty short, but there'll be more content coming here in the next few days. So thanks for your patience, and thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you watching. Hopefully I'm able to add some value to your hobby and maybe help you along the way. So that's my goal of this whole process. So enjoy the video, and we'll see you soon.
Welcome back. So I just glued on the cowling to the fuselage. My choice of adhesive for this is Aeropoxy Vpoxy Plus by BVM. Really love all of these Aeropoxy formulas. They're pretty good. This one cures up a little bit faster, but you still get about a good 30 minutes of working time before you have to be concerned. I put a liberal amount there because I need a little bit of a gap to fill in. So that's why you see that. I'm just going to go ahead and squeegee that off. I've got basically four servo screws that are holding this in place, and those will just stay there anyway. Okay, so we've got the cowling all glued on to the fuse. Obviously it looks rough now, but that'll get straightened away once I glass the fuse and do some filler as needed. So it glued up pretty well. What I'll have to do next is, you can see where this portion here mates up to the fuselage. That'll have to be reinforced with some glass, and that'll tie that in and take care of any weak spot. Otherwise this is just gonna kind of float there. We don't want that. There will be obviously some vibration, so the glass will take care of that. So here we have all the necessary parts to get that glass installed. I've just cut some 3-ounce strips and mixed up some epoxy resin, and we'll get that applied, and there it is. It's all nice and secure now. So now that the cowling is permanently glued to the fuselage, I've pivoted back to the rudder. I cut out and built a new trim tab using the same methods that I showed you previously. And then I also did something just a little bit tricky. So I had to build a socket for the tail position light. Let's see if I can get you to focus there. I think it turned out really well. That's what it looks like. So now we're about ready to cover this in fabric and call this surface good. This is the only fabric covered surface on a P-51, the later models for sure. So we'll get to work on that. So again, pivoting back to the rudder here, I've got this thing all ready to do the main covering. I'm using Oratex. This is an aluminum color. Let's see, there it is. You can use any color you want. You're gonna paint it anyway, so I just happen to have that. Works really well. I like how it handles. Follow the instructions, it's very helpful. The temperature of your iron, it's important to make sure that you have that set. Make sure that you get good stretching properties and adhering properties. But the biggest thing is, and they tell you about this in the instructions, make sure that there aren't any dust particles on the part that you're going to be covering. That will inhibit really good adhesion. So what I've done now is I've done all the inner portions, done the bottom of the rudder, and then I've done the leading edge of the rudder as well. and then the top and bottom of the balance tab. So we'll get to work and start applying this. I'll fast motion through it, but really like how this handles. Okay, so I've got one side of the rudder covered, and I've actually got the tail position light temporarily installed. It's kind of fun to make this little fairing back there to make it all blend in. I think it turned out pretty good. One thing that I decided to do is put a conduit in there, and basically it's just aluminum tubing that I chucked up in my drill, sharpened one end, and went all the way through so that I can make this removable. So basically, what I have to do, just need some music wire to push that through just like that. It's a kind of a snug fit in there. That way, when I can take this whole thing out when I'm painting, priming and painting, and surface detailing and that kind of a thing, so I don't mess up that lens. This light set is from Electrodynamics. Pretty slick set. I cut off the end. This will obviously be spliced into a wire coming out of the back of the fuselage here. Once I get that run in position, so that light will be operable. It'll tie into the control box. Now we'll get this other half of this rudder covered. One of the things that you want to do if you're doing this aura cover, so you can see all these tiny little holes that I pushed a pin through in the surface. You want to be able to allow each individual panel to breathe. Otherwise, you'll eventually get some wrinkles that will start to develop. And I haven't done it yet, but also too, you'll want to put just a heavy T-pin hole through each of these areas here. And that will allow any of that air to slowly escape as it does build up in the heat and the sun and that kind of a thing. So very important to note there. We have a completely wrinkle-free surface here. The covering is adhered to each rib, and we'll just go back and do it to the other side. Okay, well, the rudder is just about all wrapped up. I've got it covered, the trim tab is installed, the rib tape is down. This rib tape I get from Brian Burkar at Dynamic Balsa. He sells it in all different scales, and I buy it by a roll at a time. Really good stuff, made out of the old Solar Tex, I believe. Also put in the trim tab that was supplied to me by JP Warbirds. Jerry Precrop does a great job with these things. This is just simply C8 into place. It's not going anywhere. And there's the tail position light. So we're all set for some primer, and then I'll probably get this thing painted up just for fun. So here we have the rudder temporarily installed. It's a nice fit. And bam, we've got color. That's a Krylon Banner Red. 3 light coats is all it took, and that's the product that I used. This TranStar primer I really love. I get it off of Amazon. It's a wonderful product. It dries fast. It sands easily. I used Krylon Color Master aluminum to paint the trim tab, the balance tab, and then there you see the Krylon Color Master Banner Red. It's a really nice red color. Pretty much matches the full-scale P-51 that I'm modeling this after. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Next up will be the fiberglassing process. We'll begin that with all the flight controls, and in addition to that, the wing. So stay tuned for that. Thanks again for watching.